Hello everybody, it's day 15 of Trad Tune at lunch and we're coming to you from Coolani in County Sligo and hope you're all doing well. We've just said goodbye to our lovely sunshine here. We've had a great spell of weather and it's been fantastic the last while, but back to the rain, but that need not concern us today because I'm safely indoors away from all that rain. Hi to Hiromi Takahama, tuning in. Got a nice message from Hiromi yesterday asking for a Joe Liddy tune. Joe was a great fiddle player from Leitrim and he lived up until the early 90s and he was a great composer of tunes as well, and there's a lovely book of his tunes that's called The Leitrim Fiddler, and it was published by Coltis Kiltreer in I think in the early 80s, 1981 I think is when it was published, and it included around 100 tunes that Joe had composed, and I've heard quite a number of Joe's compositions being played over the years, and some of the ones that are famous that are played a lot. There's a lovely reel called The Red Bee. I think it was recorded by Dervish, the great band Dervish, a number of years ago. There's another lovely tune called The Kilcloon. It goes down nice and low. It's a good fiddle tune. But the tune I was going to play today is a tune called the Garavogue, because the Garavogue, for anybody who knows their Sligo geography here, is the name of the river which flows through Sligo town, the Garavogue River. So this is a nice little reel that I heard many years ago, and in fact I got the book of Joe Liddy's tunes many years ago, and from time to time it's nice to take out some of those books and find tunes that you've never heard before. But I'm going to play this tune, and thank you to Hiromi for the tune request as well. And Joe Liddy, yes, he was a very prominent musician really from the area here. He was born in the early 20th century in Leitrim, and he became a guard up in Dublin for many years. But he played with a very well-known trio called the Belhavel Trio, and along with his brother Tom and an uilleann piper from Westmeath, I think Ned O'Gorman, and they recorded a number of 78s, I think 3 78s, and they made a lot of radio broadcasts for Radio Éireann back in the 50s and 60s as well. So Joe was a well-known musician, and then he also played for many years in the Kincora Ceilidh Band, along with two great Sligo musicians, John Joe Gardner and his sister Kathleen Harrington, two wonderful players from the area here. John Joe spent a lot of his life living in the Dundalk area and made a big impact on the music of Louth for sure. And Kathleen Harrington, his sister, was a great fiddle player too, and she lived and played very actively in the Dublin area for many years. So here we are. We go back to the tune, and this is called the Garavogue, which is the name of the river in Sligo town here, and it was composed by Joe Liddy, who came all the way from Leitrim and lived up until the early 90s. Now, that was the Garavogue reel, composed by Leitrim's Joe Liddy, a lovely composer of tunes, and quite a lonesome tune that particular one is, and his tunes are quite varied really when you play through them. They're not all in that vein, but hello there from Monina, from Sligo. Great to see you. It's been a little while since I've seen it. Thank you for the tunes. I'm enjoying the challenge. That's great. Well, lovely to hear that some of you are enjoying learning or even listening to the tunes here. As I keep saying, it's very enjoyable for me also to go back and rediscover tunes. It's always, for any of us, for all of you musicians out there, it's very hard to keep all of the tunes in our head at any one time. We accumulate them and lose some of them and hold on to a lot of them over the years, but it's great to have a reason to go back and explore tunes. And that's a tune that I haven't really played much of in the last few years, but definitely was one that I used to enjoy playing in the past, the Garavogue reel. And yes, thanks to everybody for their recollections of Brendan McGlinchey yesterday. A big loss to fiddling, and obviously a fiddle player who made a big impact on so many people who follow our music. He really was one of the greats. And just looking through your messages here. Hi, thanks Kushla, great to hear from you again. And Peter, last trad player in the unbroken tradition in my part of Vermont was a man named Paddy Hinchy, who came from across the hills from your native stomping grounds, Bodyke. Oh yes, Bodyke in East Clare. That's very interesting, Peter. Paddy Hinchy. Right, well, if anybody has ever come across Paddy or know something about his music, do let us know. Thank you for that, Peter. That's very interesting indeed. And yes, we definitely might get back to another of Brendan McGlinchey's tunes over the next couple of weeks. He really had great skill as a composer as well as on the fiddle. And thanks to Ken for sharing some lovely photographs of Brendan McGlinchey yesterday on Facebook. There was a lovely one of Brendan playing with Seamus Connolly, the wonderful Clare fiddler who has lived in Boston for a long time. And both of those, yes, were definitely from a similar era, grew up together, and both really extraordinary fiddle players, made a big impact on the time. Hinchy's had the trove of Coleman and Killorn records, and that's from Peter in Vermont, talking about I'm forgetting now, Paddy Hinchy from Bodyke. That's very interesting. Had all the Coleman and Killorn records. Yes, the music, the recorded music definitely spread its impact geographically. It's amazing what a mark some of those Sligo records made. Even to hear a lot of the Clare fiddlers playing Lord MacDonald's and Ballinasloe Fair with the touch of Coleman, it really, and of course that music made its way down to such players, wonderful players as Paddy Cronin from Kerry, another amazing fiddler. There's so many of them, there really are. And we'll try to get around, we'll try to spread out the geography a little bit and get down to other parts of the world, because there's so many great tunes all over Ireland, of course. So I'm going to finish off today. Thanks everybody again for tuning in, and for all the comments. It's very interesting. Hi to Lucy there. Thanks for writing in. Lucy from Roscrea. A wonderful music teacher, and I've had occasion to meet Lucy many times, and members of her family even over in Chicago, USA. So I'm going to finish off with playing this Garavogue reel. And hi to Liz. Hi Liz Kane. Amazing fiddle player. Well, Liz and her sister Yvonne play a lot of the great Paddy Fahy tunes. So that's reminding me that I'll have to play a Paddy Fahy tune one of these days. But I think maybe Liz would certainly enjoy this tune, the Garavogue from Joe Liddy. It has that little bit of lonesome touch in it. And pleasure, Hiromi. Thank you again for the suggestion. And we look forward to seeing some of you or all of you tomorrow. Have a good day. everybody. See you soon.